Hey everyone, Andrew here, Melbourne Superman, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about some runner etiquette. So as a lot of you know, I am a runner. It's something that I love very much. I race, I do Spartan races, I do marathons, ultra marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, everything in between. The only things that I haven't done are things that are over 50 kilometers yet. Well, the Spartan race, the Spartan obstacle ultra, that was a 55 kilometer, but nobody's counting. One of these days I might go higher, but basically, so in the last couple weeks, I've noticed some things when I'm out running, and I'm like, what? That's like runner 101 stuff that you really shouldn't be doing, or that you should be more aware of. So what I wanted to do is come on today and talk a little bit about some of those things that you should be aware of, that you should be implementing when you go out and run, so that you can be a more considerate athlete. But before I do that, make sure that if you're liking the channel, you please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, ding, ding. It really helps out my channel a lot, especially if you're liking the videos. Like, just take a second, hit that like, hit that thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button. It'd really be awesome for me. I obviously want to get this channel out a lot more than it is right now, and I feel like the fire's there. I feel like the embers are there. We're just waiting to stoke them a bit. So we're going to talk a little bit about 10 things that you should know if you're a runner, basic etiquette wise. This will help you be a better runner, a better athlete, a more considerate person, and overall much more well-liked when you're out there on the roads, the trails, or the treadmills, going above and beyond what you ever thought possible, which of course is my tagline for the podcast, Breaking the Barrier. So if you haven't checked that out, please do that as well. So the first thing I want to talk about, number one, reconsider headphones. Can't stress that enough. Like, I love running with music. It can really motivate you a lot. But the problem is, especially with these newfangled noise canceling headphones that everybody wears that makes them look like Princess Leia or something, they're dangerous. Like, I was out on the trail a couple weeks ago and I was running on a single track, and I came up to this guy who had these headphones in, and I'm trying to pass him, and it's a single track. If you don't know what a single track is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a single track. You can't leave the path to pass people because there's either obstacles in the way, like rocks or boulders or like cliffs that go straight down. So the only way to pass somebody is to let them know that you're there. And if they have noise canceling headphones, it's nearly impossible. Like, I was screaming, shouting, passing, talking so loud to try to get past this guy. And it just like, it was impossible. The only way that I was able to finally get his attention, because I'm not going to hang behind him for the rest of my run. That's not fair to me. It's kind of creepy to him. I had to touch him on the shoulder, and it scared the hell out of him. And that's embarrassing for everybody, and it's dangerous as well when you're on a single track. So if you're like running out on the trails, don't wear noise canceling headphones. It's silly, it's dangerous. I hate using this word, but it's stupid. When you're running out in the roads or in a race, wearing headphones can be dangerous as well, because you need to know what's going on around you so that you can navigate anything that's coming, like a car horn or another racer coming up, or just anything that's happening. So yes, wear headphones, but like figure out a way to do it so that you can hear what's going on around you, whether that's leaving one ear empty, like no bud in there, or turning down the music just a little bit, or dare I say it, don't use music at all and get used to running without it. I ran my 50K a couple months ago, and I did it completely without music. It was a lot of fun. It was like a 5 and change hour race, and I didn't have music the whole time. It was a great experience. You can really enjoy what's going on around you. Number two, always look both ways. Now, that doesn't just mean when you're crossing the street. I mean when you're entering in a track or entering a running path, because it might be busy. And if you're not looking where you're going and you're just entering this path, well, you might collide with another runner, and that's not fair to them, and it's dangerous to everybody. Obviously, you want to look both ways when you're crossing the road. If you can, use crosswalks. I know that there's not always crosswalks in a lot of different places where we run outside, but if you can do that, do that. Otherwise, be really mindful. Again, it kind of goes back to just being mindful about what you're doing and being aware of your surroundings. Number three, kind of going down this path, no pun intended, of being aware of your surroundings. When you're running, don't just make sudden U-turns or stops. Because especially if you're in a park run or a race or on the roads or a park, there might be somebody behind you. Could be another runner, could be a cyclist, could be anything. But like, don't just stop. Like, if you feel like you need to stop because you're getting tired or you're at the end of your run, look behind you, figure out if you need to weave, dodge and weave or something, but don't just stop. Don't just turn right around. A lot of park runs have out and back horses. A lot of races have out and back horses. Don't just do a quick, sharp U-turn because you don't know what's going on behind you. You have to really look, be mindful of what's going around you, because if you just suddenly stop and there's somebody running there, like behind you, close to you, they're going to crash into you. And again, it's dangerous. So I know, broken record here, but be aware of your surroundings. Another thing you want to do, so number 4, make yourself known when you're passing or coming up to other runners when you're on a trail or a road. Again, if they're wearing noise-canceling headphones, it's really hard to do that, so don't do that. Don't wear noise-canceling headphones. I'm going back to number 1. That's, really important.
That guy really made me angry at the trail.
Anyway, make yourself known because, if you want to pass somebody, it's kind of just common courtesy. Just say passing or track or on your left, on your left. But don't just sit there behind them, on the back. Don't. It's creepy if you're just running behind somebody and you have you can pass them, but you choose not to, and it's like a stranger on a trail. It's weird. It's creepy. Don't be that person. Figure something out. Don't just sit behind somebody. Either pass them or figure something else out. But if you're sitting behind them that closely, probably you can pass them. So do it and just make yourself known. Let them know. And you can do that as I generally, if I know I'm going to pass somebody, I try to let them know 10 meters behind. Hey, passing, because I don't want to do it right as I'm directly behind them, because that can be a bit startling as well. So the sooner you can do that, the better. Number 5. This is more if you're running with a group. Try to run single file or at most, 2 abreast, right? You don't want to be running 3, 4, 5 people, next to each other, because it's not fair to other people trying to use the track or the path or the sidewalks, whatever. You have to be, again, aware of your surroundings. Just run so that other people can pass you. That's all I really have to say about that one. It's kind of common courtesy. Common sense. Number 6, if you're a slower runner, be aware that other runners will pass you and allow them to do that. You also want to be smart about it. So you want to be courteous and considerate. So for example, if you're at a race, and this was a big problem at the Melbourne Marathon last year. It wasn't a big problem, but it was a problem. If you're a slower runner, don't try to get to the front of the starting corral, because there's going to be a lot of other faster runners who are there trying to get away from the crowd, because they have the ability to do so. And if you're a slower runner and you're trying to get to the front of the corral for whatever reason, you're going to slow them down. It's going to be dangerous. You're going to piss people off too. Understand what's going on around you. Be in a position where you're not having to be passed by 1,000 people. If you know you're a slower mid-pack or back of the pack runner, figure that out. Don't go to the front of the race, because unfortunately, you don't need to be there. You really don't. And this number 7, this kind of correlates. If you're faster, so number 7, if you're a faster runner, just go back to step 4. Make yourself known. Number 8, if you're running with a dog, have that dog on a lead, please. I see people walking dogs without leads, and I have a dog. I love my dog. I love Cal. He's a greyhound. He's amazing. But whenever I see somebody walking a dog without a lead, it just screams at me arrogance. It's just you are I get it. Some dogs can be really well trained, but at the same time, it's not a guarantee that they're not going to run off because they see something they want, or they're not going to chase down a runner. I got chased down by a runner today, I got chased down today by a dog who was not on a lead. And man, it pissed me off, because I'm you know what? This obviously is not the first time that your dog has chased something down. Have him or her on a lead. It's common sense, not to mention safety for the dog. If the dog sees something it wants across the street and it runs across traffic, use your heads. I don't know why I have such a problem with people having their dogs off lead, but it just seems like an unnecessary display of arrogance, or I can do this and so can my dog. It's accidents are going to happen. So yeah, if you're running with a dog, have that dog on a lead. There are running leads out there specifically for that, and they're really great. I have one for Cal. He's a greyhound, so he doesn't really run much other than when he's sprinting around. But, you know, if I wanted to run with him, I could put that on. It's kind of comfortable. But yeah, there's nothing worse than being a runner and being chased down by a dog. It sucks. Number 9, talking about other runners, wave, smile. Like there is a kind of unspoken rule that when you pass or when you're running past another runner who's on the same side of the sidewalk as you, or you just, you know, you're in eyes distance. I don't know, spitting distance. No, that's gross. Is to wave at them, smile, just, you know, you don't have to necessarily say anything. If you're at a park run or something, sure, just be like, hey man, good job. Hey lady, great job. Hey ma'am, sir, madam, whatever. If you're at a race, especially like a Spartan or something, you're passing somebody or they're passing you, it's always great to say, yeah, good job, great. Keep that camaraderie going. That's one of the greatest things about the running community. So wave to somebody. Like, don't do it like creepy, like, that's weird. Don't do that. Just, you know, like a little nod like that face that you make when you're passing somebody in the street. That's fine. It's okay to acknowledge people. It's okay to not acknowledge people too. That's fine. Like if you're in your zone, you know, nobody's going to judge you, but it's always just nice to go out of your way to say hi. And number 10, the final thing, always remember that the competition in running, it can be fun, right? The only true competition that you have, unless you're an elite athlete, is with yourself, right? And when you realize that, you got to kind of realize that it's okay to be easy on yourself. Competition, you know, I'm very competitive in my running. I like to, you know, I want to get faster. I want to podium at certain races. I want to come in top 5 at some races. I like to come in top 3 at some races, just depending on where the race is. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I want to get the best out of myself that I can. And that's where the true competition lies. And so that's what I got to realize. Running is meant to be fun. I mean, sure, there are those days where you're doing a speed workout or a long run and you're just like, oh, wow, this sucks. And that's fine, but that's kind of part of it. And you kind of have to embrace that suck. And it's when you can do that and when you can like realize that it's you against you and this is your thing and you're running because you love it, that changes the game, because then you take that pressure off yourself and that's when things happen. That's when, you know, boundaries are busted and that's when you can get past those certain things that you might not have been able to get past before. So there you go. So I will leave that with you. So those are the top 10 things that I can think of about, you know, getting into running etiquette that you should probably think about if you're starting to get into running or if you've been running for years. Always a good reminder as well. So again, look, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, ding, ding, and I will catch you next time.